Here we are at the 2016 Monterey Coaches Clinic. We're here with Troy Tirapelle, the head wrestling coach at Buchanan High School. Welcome to the clinic. We're happy you came here and look forward to seeing more of your technique and philosophy in the sport.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It was a pleasure to be here. I told Bill a little bit ago, I said it's been a long time. I think we still lived in Sacramento the last time, so I didn't remember a lot about it. I had to check my background and sources to make sure I was in the right area and what I was supposed to be doing.
Good, good. You know, last year you won the CIF state tournament. I think you were within about 1.5 points of breaking the Clovis state record. What's your expectations going into this season?
I always, it's a hard question to answer. Everyone always asks me that. It's hard to put tangibly. I'll say similar in the fact of our goal is always the same. It's to be the best we can be. It all depends on your talent level. I've already made the statement to our kids, and I hope this doesn't put a big red dot on us that we've already probably have, that I feel like we have the same amount of talent, very similar, and the fact that that we can win the state again, that should be their goal. That, you know, but definitely differs from year to year. I think we have a good group. I think we have a good bunch, barring, you know, injuries or our own little bit of stupidity of high school kids. Hopefully that doesn't get us on ourselves. We should be right there, you know, with a good run to hopefully have the same opportunity.
Yeah, so what I see through the years is when you wrestled at Clovis, it seems like you guys are trying to maintain a certain level and just keep that level of wrestling going on, you know, with each generation. It seems like you have that with a large percentage of your kids are underclassmen, but they perform pretty well and met some of the expectations.
Oh, absolutely. It's set high. It's a high standard, and we're I always feel like positively surprised almost year to year in the fact of what you can get out of them, what they actually reach and strive to be. It's almost like you can't set it high enough. We have a great philosophy, you know, that they bought into a structure, a program team self. With the program being the most important, but we're always working backwards. We show them how you kind of handle that as, hey, you take care of your business as self, you're helping the team. I go, you set that standard for the team, and really, you set by doing your team, your year, whatever. I was like, you're making the expectation greater and greater each year as the program. I was like, you want to be the best team ever? I was like, that's what you should be. I was like, outwardly, but secretly, I go, I always want to be training the group behind me to, you know, outdo what we did. Like, same with, I said, we always talked about it as friendly brothers. You know, I was like, Adam tried to set it, Alex and I said, and I know that they want to set it high enough that basically that I couldn't beat them, but I know the all along they're also rooting for you to do so.
Yeah, what makes Buchanan so tough and competitive? I mean, if you look at your kids, they look like just normal homegrown kids, but when they get on that mat, it's almost like there's just a whole different level. I mean, what is it? The philosophy? Is it the leadership? And you know, not from the coaches, but just from the team leaders, the wrestlers.
I was gonna say you're letting me take it all, but expectation definitely factors in a lot to what I was just talking about. But accountability, and you hit right on it with accountability. Started with me. Like, I had to set the standard or the expectation, but it filters down to your assistant coaches, and then between me and the assistant coaches filtered down to your older kids, or what you would consider kind of your team leaders. When they have bought into the concept and when they can exude confidence in it and portray it and relay it down to the lower levels, when the kids are holding the other kids accountable, is where kind of when you see this thing take off. And that's, at least in our scenario, what I've found.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that there's a rivalry between you and your brother and father. I mean, at the surface, it seems like it's a pretty good rivalry. I mean, is it a tough rivalry? Is it?
Okay, this is what confuses me.
Is it? Do you guys sort of thrive on each other to set the expectation higher? Do you push each other? I mean, what is the rivalry like?
Oh,
behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. I want to break people's hearts, I think. I said it is definitely friendly. We try to get it going. I said, I know Adam I don't have any social media, but Adam always tries to get on his Twitter and try to get things going. And it is funny. I'll start reading different things, but it's definitely with the idea of having both sides. Like to get an event that we've got going, and other people have asked me this, and how do you do it? And they're like, oh, will you come around us? I'll absolutely go around the state, you know, maybe not country, it costs a little more money to go and try to do this, but what we were trying to explain to them when they asked us about how'd you do it is like, you got to do it with someone in your own area, and you got to work together. It can be a cutthroat, we hate you guys type thing on at the surface and what you see, but under the underlying, you have to work together as a school, as a program, as coaches, in order to build something of that nature, because we're 3 miles apart, so we can get everyone there, and it's a 2-hour event, so the casual fam loves it. They don't want to sit there all day long.
See, I had the opportunity of coming out from the Bay Area down. We came down and drove and watched the event. And I have to tell you, I felt like I was in a Division I, Big Ten type event. Iowa State, Iowa, Oklahoma. The music was there, the energy was there, the competition. It was incredible.
It's unique. I mean, because we've been able to get to where we want, and through what you're talking about, like we drive each other. People ask me a lot of times, like as we were building this kind of, hopefully I call it machine and not get thrown under the bus for it, is and the idea is that, oh, if you were in this section, aren't you mad? You had already won the section, you guys didn't go, but you just get second. And I was like, no, I'm not really, because I see it as a benefit. When you're the team that's behind, the more and more you wrestle, the more and more you see, you kind of close the gap. And we've had that opportunity to see what that barometer is, that measuring stick, and right down the street, and have the ability to try to overcome it. I mean, you can look at anything positive or negatively. I kind of looked at it as positive.
Yeah, because if you look, our final question, what makes the Central section, more specifically the track league, so tough? I mean, I think you've already alluded to it. You got kids that'll place 3rd in the league, 5th in the section of Masters, then they end up being in the state final. It seems like the competition's just so close.
Yeah. I think 2 things that we all have in common, I think, for the most part. First part is districts that support us. There's no doubt, as Clovis Unified Sports, and we have Central High School. Central Unified definitely wants to be good at sports and wants to be good at wrestling. And so it makes for a nice competitive atmosphere. I go second because of these districts are competitive and stuff. And I know our brother talks a lot on this, that we're very strong supporters, firmly believe in families. Team, building a team. You're trying to build 14 kids. And it is harder. I get it. It's harder than trying to work with 1, 2, 3. But in the grand scheme of things, we see it as worth it. It's like that's what has changed us. That's what has made this dual event that's so fun and so big. And hopefully we can keep it going. And hopefully other people can pop it up in their areas with their crosstown rivals. And to be honest, even because people think of, oh no, well, I got to have that first place guy. I got to have that 3rd place guy. I got to have these. If I focus on 14, well, then I'm not getting these 3 as far. I guess I look at it the opposite way. If I got 14 kids, really, and more than that, if you can build more than that, have some depth, it's like that even makes your best kids better because they just have more workout partners. Like if you have guys that they can't just slack off against, like they are pushed by more than one guy getting more than one look because they're going to wrestle different people who wrestle different styles all throughout the year.
Yeah. One final thing. You go back in history and where was the seed planted for the Clovis Unified School District? You had Dr. Floyd Buchanan. It seemed like his philosophy that he injected into the schools to where the student is the priority, creating the expectations where they're competitive with each other. How much does that play into the philosophy of the school district, both academically and on the mat?
Dr. Buchanan was the mastermind. We lost him last year, and it was difficult, definitely, especially being the namesake of the school, and how much he did to create that atmosphere, and really specifically for wrestling. Wrestling is definitely, I'm probably giving it props when I say a 2nd-tier sport. Probably giving it a little higher than most people think, in most people's eyes. In Dr. Buchanan's, it was the same. It was on the same plane as football, basketball, baseball. It was a major player, but he cared. He's the one that brought it to the elementaries, brought it to junior highs. Everyone has their own teams to kind of build this monster that it is now. But I think one of the biggest things in our culture, our philosophy is changing a little bit. Not really like a little bit in Clovis Unified, but even just in the world in general is. He brought about the atmosphere of everything as a competition. Like, there's always going to be a winner and a loser because there's always a winner and a loser in life. All you can do is prepare, give it everything you got, and then go back to the drawing board if you didn't get what you want. But you weren't a failure by not accomplishing what you wanted. Like, you were a failure if you didn't give it everything. Success was different from each person, and you weren't always going to get what you want, because that's life. You don't always get what you want. Even ourselves, I think we've lost a little bit of our way in the way of we're going a little bit more into the participation range, which obviously everyone enjoys. We want to get more people involved and stuff like that, but we're also losing that side of that stressing of competition on that and excellence that you're trying to say. But I said we still definitely try to hold to it. It's the whole reason our mom moved our family down from Sacramento to Clovis. It's comical. I always use the joke that the one reason that the benefit you have working in Clovis Unified, or why they have these things, is whatever they offer, they're going to try to be the best in. So it can be wrestling, it can be band, it can be Odyssey of the Mind, it can be a club. If we're going to do it, we're going to try to do it right. And I do we still appreciate that. Even we haven't wandered too beyond that still, so that's a good thing.
Once again, we're here with Troy Tirapelle, head wrestling coach at Buchanan High School. Thank you for coming to the clinic. It's greatly appreciated. I want to wish you, on behalf of the California Wrestler, good luck this season. Have fun at the Clash. Look forward to seeing you in the postseason. Thank you once again.
Thank you.